Welcome, everyone, to episode 75 of the Missing Pieces podcast. No intro today because this episode is dedicated to the people that have been with us for the long run. If you are new, you're welcome to sit and listen, but I'm really just speaking to the people that have been along with us on this journey that we've been on and continue to be on. If you've been listening to the recent episodes of this podcast, you know that I've been struggling a bit professionally, if you want to call it that, mainly dealing with what I'm self-diagnosing as burnout, mainly from having too much of an upload schedule and live streaming every day. Since I've been dealing with this, I have cut that out entirely, the live streams, and it's helped out quite a bit. The other thing that I've been dealing with and continue to deal with that I spoke about in last week's episode is really just having what I'm considering to be like a midlife crisis on YouTube. I have Clarkman on the cusp of going to school here, and my days are about to change dramatically, and it's really got me thinking about where I want to go professionally here on YouTube. I keep using the word professionally, and it boggles my mind to think that I am that, because it certainly doesn't feel that way. I feel like this is my hobby and my passion, but it is that. So I've really been thinking about what I want to do and where I want to go. What do my days look like? What kind of content am I going to make? And that has really fallen over here onto the brickitect channel, where I've been asking you guys, like, what do you want to see? Where do you want to see me go? And I've been doing a series of polls, and even that is even spilled over here to Missing Pieces, where I'm thinking like, okay, this is a Lego channel. Should I have this non-Lego content on here, which is this podcast? And I was really, last week, really close to saying, you know what? I think I just need to make a whole new channel. I need to move this off of here and just really focus on the Lego stuff. But then I got some feedback from you guys, and I'd like to share some of that here, if that's okay, from a few people that commented on last week's episode. And that really put this in perspective for me and really helped me with the decision that I think I'm ultimately going to make here. I'm going to start with this message from M. Bricks, who says, I think I can speak for everyone watching this podcast when I say that none of us are here for the hauls. We're here for you, your personality, your journey through life. Thanks to everything that happened in 2020, I've been isolated beyond measure, and I can say from deep down, this podcast is a highlight of my week. I can't get emotional this early, guys. Shoot. I'm going to continue on here. I can say from deep down that this podcast is a highlight of my week, an anchor, something I look forward to. Whether you're talking about Lego, news, your life, or your future of your channels, it's a way for me to escape, and I can't thank you enough. I'm glad Missing Pieces is continuing, and I look forward to the content on the new channel, whatever that may include. Next comment comes from Bob's Builds. He says, Hey Greg, I'll get straight to the point on this one. The only reason I subscribed to this channel was because of the Missing Pieces podcast. For me, I really don't care for the hauls, reviews, or anything like that. I like the genuine Greg. That's why I love your channel. If you want to move your personal stuff onto another channel, I would really love that. I would enjoy the heck out of that channel. On YouTube, there aren't many genuine channels, but you're one of them. Thanks for reading this long comment from your friend Robert. The next one comes from Brickanics. He says, I found your channel in the Missing Pieces podcast while researching how to start a Lego channel. It was episode 3, How to Start and Grow a Lego YouTube Channel, which is very helpful in guiding my decision to start a channel. You shared a lot of great things within that episode that helped a ton. It's not necessarily Lego that keeps me listening to Missing Pieces podcast. It's hearing your story as it relates to being a content creator. I like hearing your thought process and ideas, the gear you're using, the different channel ideas you have, the reasons behind your decisions. Shane says, Greg, I've been watching you for a couple years, started off with the Lego vids, but slowly started watching Greg's World, and I got interested in your life and journey. I wouldn't be the type of person to watch your channel, but it's crazy how I was a kid watching Lego videos, but now I'm becoming an adult and I'm still here. Maybe it's because of you and Clark's relationship that I did not have in my life for the most part. The last one that's related to this comes from Brickhead. He says, I struggle with a lot and I'm only 13, but I really love your podcast because it's like an outlet for me to decompress and just think about everything. I don't see my dad, and that is because my mom and dad's divorced, but your podcast is a place where I can feel really awesome. You make me and a ton of other people just feel really good about themselves. And I don't care what channel Missing Pieces is on, because overall it's your decision. I just really like to hear your opinions on things because you have a very powerful voice and a very knowledgeable person, and I love your thoughts because you're so positive, or at least try to be as much as you can. And that's something that I think people, no matter what the age, can or need to hear. And wow, those, you can tell just from me reading these now, I've already read these before, that these really had an impact on me. And it really went to show me that Missing Pieces can be whatever I want it to be. It doesn't have to be Lego, and I've never wanted to just be a Lego channel in the traditional sense. And I've lost sight of that as I've started to ponder where I'm going in the future. And I'm thinking like, okay, people want to see Lego stuff on a Lego video. This is why they're here. But through these comments, and I'm sure many other people that didn't leave a comment or maybe just thought it, you're here not for the Lego. You're here for the journey, the experience, the things outside of that. I said last week and maybe the week before, I lose track of all time and space these days, but Lego is the vehicle, not the destination. And I even with saying that, I lost sight of that. I'm doing polls asking people what type of Lego content they want to see. I'm looking at those and thinking like, okay, this is what people want. But what really needs to happen on this channel should be the thing that's happened from day one. And that has been me sharing what I love to do with my son. Lego being the glue that holds it all together, but getting people in for the Lego, but staying for everything that we offer beyond that. With my goal of making my channel as personal as possible and as positive as possible, and just trying to be a resource for people to do the things you're mentioning, like escaping from the real world, to see what it's like to be just a normal dude or have a kid and to experience life together within the scope of Lego. I have a place that goes outside of that, and that's Greg's World. And even though it's a very kid-heavy channel because of the Clark Man's journey that he's on, that's what I'm passionate about sharing right now. And through these comments and through a week of pondering all of this, I've really come to the conclusion that Missing Pieces should stay right where it's at. I love the idea of the catalog already being here. Obviously, we're 74 episodes deep into this, now 75. We have an entire playlist where you can follow my journey from well over a year now, all the way up until this current moment, and all the things that I've thought about and considered and we've discussed through listener feedback. It's been an amazing journey. And for me, to move that, I still think that, that audience would still enjoy listening to it. But I feel like this resource is something that the Lego community needs. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like there's some people out there that maybe find us through a Lego haul, your favorite thing to watch on this channel, and you're like, okay, I really enjoy this. And then some random Sunday, you see your subscription box fill up with this thing about Missing Pieces, and it's an hour long or whatever, and you're like, okay, I'll take a listen to that. I'm building something or I'm sorting, and then you listen to that, and it's something that can have a positive impact on your life. And you would have never found that maybe if it had been on another channel, or if it was just the Greg's Journey channel, or whatever my life side quest is supposed to be. But it was the Lego that brought you in. And then you found this whole other thing that was on top of that really like cemented us in as like somebody that you can relate to. And that's all I've really wanted to do. I just wanted to share my authentic self, whether that be about Lego or about anything that I'm passionate about. And I have a lot of passions, as you guys know, mainly with video creation. And that's like the really big thing that I love about Lego is that I get to create a story around a set, something that's just a bunch of cardboard and plastic. And I can make a story about our experience with that, and I can share that and get the feedback from it. And by some means, I'm able to make some money from this and do this professionally. That word keeps popping up here. And it's remarkable. And I always say it, but I should say it now. I don't take this for granted at all. I love doing what I do. And I shouldn't question the path that I'm on. This is always going to change as time goes by. Whether I'm here with Clark Man and we're doing a haul together, whether I'm sitting here doing a Missing Pieces, whether we find another passion and it just constantly evolves within this Lego space, building a city, making mocks, whatever that is, I've created brickitect in a way that it can encompass anything that I want it to. And I feel like, as I've thought about this week, and I know this can be frustrating for you guys because I'm sharing this with you in real time. I'm sharing things with you before I have them figured out for myself. I'm telling you where I'm at as of this moment right now. And it can be frustrating one week for me to be like, you know what? I need to do this thing. I need to make this new channel. I need to move this. And then the next week to come back and be like, no, that's not the right thing. But that's life. We never have things fully figured out. We've talked to people here that, you're in your 30s or 40s, you still don't know what your calling is. And for me, I'm just trying to find my way down this river that I'm navigating in the dark with no headlamp, there's no map. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going, but I do know that the current is in my favor. And I think we're on the right track. I think we're going to end up where we're trying to go. That is to say, I'm not really trying to go anywhere. I'm just happy to be on this river. I'm happy to be sailing. I have a sail up. I've got the motor. I've got everything that I need here. There's no need for me to move it elsewhere. I would like to share some more personal things here with you guys because I saw a lot of comments where people would really enjoy that, especially Robert there, who said he would love the heck out of a channel like that. And I think I'm going to try to incorporate that a little bit into brickitect. Some things that maybe fall outside the scope of Lego just a little bit. Maybe just so you can see who the person is behind all these Lego videos if you just found us. Maybe you saw us shopping at Kmart, God rest its soul, and you're like, hey, I kind of like this. And then you come over and you're like, what's this all about? Okay, this guy's doing some different things. I'd like to share a little bit of that. I think I would like to share a lot of that, but I think I'm going to reserve some of that for my Patreon because I have a group of people there. I told you about my desire to develop this adult audience of people that I can relate to, that we're all kind of in it together in a community. And I have that already. I have my Patreon people, and I love the community there. And it's like a place where I can ask them for advice. We can help each other. And I tried using an analogy last night on our Patreon stream where you're going to know it. It's another boat analogy where all the ships rise together as the tide rises or something. And I just feel that there. So some of the really out there stuff, or some of the stuff that just has no impact on Lego, or maybe something that I'm struggling with, or something that I'm doing that I don't feel like fits here, and that maybe I don't necessarily want to put on Greg's world because it doesn't really fall into the Greg and Clark journey there. I think I'm going to start putting a lot of that on Patreon. And I know the community there will support me in that. And I love the fact that I can be 100% myself and authentically me, regardless of what it is. And if I put something out there, I'm not going to get judged. I'm going to get just love from the people that support me the most, and I'd like to support them as well. So I think that's where I'm going to go, at least for the time being. I don't have it in my heart to make another channel. I can't do it. In fact, I'm sitting looking at my roster of channels here, and I'm like, what can I cut? And I've made some changes here this week that I guess we'll kind of talk about. I think I covered pretty much everything that I want to regarding this whole missing pieces and the future of this, because I know this is important to you, and the channel as well. I see this being a huge part of my life going forward. When Clark goes to school and we're not doing the daily vlogs anymore, like the first 2 months of this, like he's going in April to June, what I really see myself doing is just becoming a full-time organizer. I want to get everything that I own organized, whether it be Lego or non-Lego. I want to get sorted. I want to give away all of the stuff that I don't find value in or is not serving me in some way. I want to minimize, and I want to get organized. And I'm essentially going to be doing that full time until it's done when Clark goes to school. So that's going to be a great use of my time. And back to the whole Patreon thing, I feel like that'd be a great thing to put over there, whether it be a stream or just like a daily update as to like, this is what I got done. And maybe some of that I'll sneak over here into the main channel. Maybe I'll make like, if I say I do 5 videos over there where it's like Monday through Friday, maybe I'll make like a 5-minute video where it's like, hey, this is all that we got done in like a compilation video. That way it's like, it's not overwhelming people, because to be honest, you guys here on Missing Pieces, you're the select few. This isn't what most people want in a Lego channel. They want to see the normal stuff. They want to see news videos. They want to see reviews. They want to see hauls, and that's fine. But I think the power in this channel is going beyond that, and I'm thankful that you guys are interested in seeing that. But for most part, people aren't. So I'd like to limit that. Maybe just put like a little teaser thing up where it's like, here's kind of what happened, I guess. But to share most of that over there with my community of people that I truly love. And speaking of people who I love, this is, I guess, a good segue. I want to thank Georgia for joining us on Patreon. She joined yesterday, got on our Discord, introduced herself. Everyone, like, I love it when someone joins and they introduce themselves, and I love to see all the people just embracing them. It's awesome. It's an awesome community. And she was in the Friday night stream last night too. So, Georgia, thank you for joining us. I appreciate your support and welcome once again. I told her I'd be giving her a shout out here today, whether she wants it or not, probably not. But I share it nonetheless. So those are some things that has happened this week. It's been just a lot of pondering. I've made some other moves this week. I told you that I'm kind of refiguring my future on the internet and YouTube. And I've decided that with my gaming stuff, gaming has been something that I've really wanted to explore, and I think I'll be doing a lot more of as well when Clark goes to school, because when you're not helping Clark Man with school and, you know, making sure he's taken care of and giving him attention and like preparing breakfast and lunch and all the other things that we do, your day gets freed up quite a bit. And as much as I'm going to be organizing, I'd like to slot out like a time of my day where I can play a little bit of games. Sneak it in with Mrs. Brickitect not necessarily knowing what I'm doing throughout the day. It's a lot easier to do it then than it is like to take time out of our family time at night and be like, hey, I'm going to go down and shoot some people in a game or something like that. It doesn't work when you're a grown adult. So I'll say this to the kids out there. Enjoy your freedom while you can, because once you get married and you have kids and stuff like that, that stuff kind of, it kind of becomes a much lower priority. So enjoy your freedom while you can. But if you do get some time during the day where you can sneak it in, I think I'm going to make that a thing. And I've decided this week, and this is a 100% for sure decision, that YouTube isn't the place that I want to do that. I don't want to do my gaming stuff over there. I decided to move it over to Twitch, and I've been there this week, and it's been fantastic. YouTube, when I stream on there on my gaming channel, a lot more people watch, but the chat is just like, it's the worst. It's not something I want to engage with. And it's so weird because I go over to Twitch, the audience maybe gets cut by 80%, but it's just like actual chat and a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying the interaction there. They're having fun watching me play. And I've actually gotten a few subscribers. I think I have 10 subscribers now, and it's wild that you could be so excited, and I'm like stoked about these 10 people when I have a channel that has almost 500,000 on YouTube. I've got a channel with over 100,000 here. I've got thousands here and there, with all the different things that I do. I'm not saying that to flex on you or brag or anything. I'm just putting in perspective that sometimes when you try something new and you get that fresh taste of something, it's fun to try to build from nothing, right? Like, it's easy to build on to something that's already there. Like, I can put a second story on a house that already exists, but what about digging that foundation? That's the part that I love. So I've been streaming on Twitch and enjoying that. It's been super supportive, and I'm excited to see where that goes. It's nice to get all of my eggs out of the YouTube basket, which is why I don't do YouTube memberships. I do Patreon instead of that, because I feel like YouTube might have too much power as it is. And when that whole COPPA thing hit, and I saw my potential future just go up in smoke, I'd rather put that in some different companies' hands than just one. Plus, YouTube, I feel like, I think they're a little greedy with their stuff, so I'm not interested in that, and I'd rather take my business elsewhere, I suppose. So we're working on different things. Got our hands in different I don't know, what's the word? You got your hand in different pots or irons in the fire. I'm really botching this with the sayings today. Somebody in the comments, if you could, please. Last time I had this problem was when I was trying to figure out what a female man cave is. Apparently, it's a she shed. What is it? What is the phrase when all ships rise? And then what is the thing where you have all your hands in the fire or something like that? I don't know. This has gone off the rails. Should we start over again? But I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about something else that happened this week. Speaking of gaming, I got a gaming PC. It's down here. It's actually running what you're watching right now, which is really cool. I made that decision. I've been an Apple guy forever. In fact, I have my notes for this on my MacBook Pro. And I used to use this for streaming games and doing these podcasts. But this MacBook Pro, and this is going to get kind of techie, so if this isn't your jam, you might want to fast forward just a little bit. I'm passionate about it, and that's what I share here. And if you're brickanics, you're probably down with this. So I used to stream on this, but the problem with the MacBook Pro is you literally put any kind of load on it, the fans kick on and it sounds like a rocket about to take off or it's going to explode. And that comes up in the audio, which I don't want. So late last year, I saw the Mac Mini came out with the M1 chip in it, and it was as powerful as this was. I bought this for $3,000 last year, spec'd out. The Mac Mini at $600, very comparable. So I was like, okay, why don't we use that as a desktop computer, and I'll use that for streaming. I have it hooked up to a monitor here. I've got my gaming stuff over here, camera right here, microphone here. It's like perfect. That's all well and good for doing what I'm doing now, but once I started getting the software together to do the game capture and stuff, nothing would work properly because of the new Apple chip. Not enough work has been done from third-party companies to want to communicate with it. And I tried all these different things trying to make it communicate and try to get things to work. And I sort of got it, but then I was still having problems. And I was just getting super frustrated because I wanted to go through Streamlabs so I can have like the pop-ups when people subscribe and when they donate and different things happen. I want to have like things happen on the screen because I just love that. I love the interactivity of that. And I wanted it to be in 1080p. I couldn't do those things from my Mac. So I did a whole bunch of research trying to figure out what I should do for a gaming PC. My nephew actually builds them, but I'm not going to be seeing him. Maybe at Easter, maybe not. So I was like, I want to do something now. And I showed him all the PCs that were on Best Buy, all the gaming ones. And he told me which one he would get. I ran it by the Patreon Discord crew, and they they were like, yeah, that's a good buy considering the price that PC parts are going up to. So I bought that yesterday, brought it home, and so far so good. I love it. You guys can't hear it right now. It's doing everything I need to do. I did a test stream yesterday playing Warzone with my nephew Landon. It was beautiful. Beautiful. So I'm so happy about that. The nice thing is I'm probably going to be able to sell my Mac Mini, and I'm going to sell my old camera that I was using prior to this one that didn't look nearly as good. And I think with the lenses and the Mac Mini, I should be able to basically pay for the new computer with that. So I'm very excited about that. Making upgrades. This year's I've done quite a few upgrades. Speaking of upgrades and other tech news, I called my internet company this week and I wanted to talk to them about, like, our bill was a little high. And I was like, you know what? We barely use the television at all, and we were paying for like 200 and some odd channels, and my internet was like 300 megabits per second, which is pretty good, with 10 megabit uploads, which is it's pretty decent. Like I can stream on that. I can upload videos. You guys, you can do everything. You can see it. So I called them. I'm like, hey, what are my options? Like I'm looking for like blazing internet. I basically told them that I'm like a streamer. I need blazing internet. TV, I really don't care too much about. In fact, I was like contemplating just getting rid of it. He told me that they had this package where I could upgrade my internet from 300 megabits per second download speeds to 1 gigabyte. And I could get my upload speeds, which is the uploading is like putting videos out to you or streams out to you. That would go from 10 to 35. And it would only cost me $3 per month to make that move because I'd be taking down some of the channels. I think going from like 200 and some to like 100 and some. So I was like, absolutely. I know I'm not saving any money, but I would love to have my internet be 3 times faster, both in downloads and uploads, because uploading mobile videos every day takes a significant amount of time. I would love to see that decrease by, 2/3 or whatever. So we did that. I did run into another issue, though. It seems like these tech things always, like, mo money, mo problems or whatever. Like, one good thing happens, one bad thing happens. My modem is only rated at, like, 300 megabits, so I haven't seen the upgrade in speed yet, but I ordered one on Amazon, so that's coming tomorrow. So I should be blazing. I should be able to upgrade my stream quality as well and never, ever, ever have any buffering issues whatsoever. It's just going to look crispy as all heck. So I'm very excited about that. I think it's going to be amazing, and I'm excited to do the gaming stuff and see where that goes. I don't have any anticipation of becoming like a professional gamer. It's just something that I want to do for fun, and the only way that I can justify spending time on video games is if I'm entertaining people while I do it, because then I'm like, okay, this is having some productivity here. If you do want to follow my gaming stuff, it's linked down below. It's twitch.tv/gameritect. It's like brickitect, only gameritect. And I'd love to have you over there if you want to join us. Make sure you're cool in the chat, though. It's just a chill place. I don't want the masses coming over, like from the YouTube chat cesspool, to come over and ruin my experience there. But I've been enjoying it. Another things that got done this week. Oh my gosh, this is going to be fantastic. I'm going to make a video about this next week. Brickitect is finally done. Got the plumbing finally put in with the faucet and all that stuff, so it's all done, and we can do live streams over there. We can do Snackitect. We can do whatever we want. I know I said I'm cutting back on streams, but I might do like one stream a week or something that's public here on YouTube. Might do like a Q&A thing with like no real plan other than maybe just sitting and chilling and like answering all your questions or discussing whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm actually considering dropping Brickitect Live and just doing all my streams here on Brickitect. Since I'm not going to be doing nearly as many, it won't get overwhelming to people to have them there all the time. I know a lot of people put them as like unlisted videos, but I like to make them so you can actually go back and watch them later and you can find them. So I might do like a weekly Q&A thing. We could do breaking it down and just make it live, and you can just pummel me with all your questions on what my favorite set is and what's my favorite theme and if I'm buying a set. Or we can answer the very difficult questions like what is the meaning of life, and I could give you my thoughts on that, although I don't think I really have that. If I had to say, if I'm going to answer that question right now, I would say the meaning of life is to try to do the thing that makes you the happiest with the people that make you the happiest, while also somehow finding a way to make money doing that. And that's I feel like I've done that, or I've tried to do that. Of course, like, there's always going to be that grind. I don't know how we're getting into this, but we're going there. I don't know if it's possible in every realm of financially supporting yourself doing what you love, but at least pursue that, because that will give you purpose. That's what I found in my life. I always have to have some type of goal or something I'm working towards, and the bigger the goal and the harder it is to get, the better and happier I am. So yeah, that's all of that. I think that's most of what I wanted to cover in my life. Oh, how about this? We're going to shock you guys, shock and all here. Let's talk about a little bit of Lego. You're like, what? Greg, what? Lego? Yes. I made a Lego order this morning. Today is Saturday, March 6th, and Lego is doing the Amelia Earhart promotion where if you spend $100 or $99.99, they will give you a free Lego plane, which looks great. If you haven't seen it, take a look at it. It's definitely worth spending $100 if you have the funds to do so. So I ended up getting the 2 new Minecraft sets for Clark Man, of course, and I threw in the little Easter bunny in there as well, and that took me well over the $100, so I got that. I also ordered the Octan coin, and I'm super bummed though because I wanted the pirate coin. You guys saw me get the castle one that Clark was messing with and he dropped all over the floor and stuff. I wanted the castle one. I've been a little behind on this, and I was going to get the castle one today and then get the pirate one in 2 weeks when the next promo comes up. Or actually 9 days. They're doing an Easter promo. The pirate one's gone, and I'm super bummed. I talked to Dave about it on our Patreon thing today, and he said that it's going for like $70 on eBay. So I was like, I had to make a decision. Am I going to continue this collection, missing one, or am I just going to scrap it? So I decided to continue on. I got the Octan one with my order, and maybe someday I'll try to go back and get the pirate one because I want to have the entire collection. But I'm a little bummed about that it went so quickly. But I made an order today, and I'm excited about getting that. Of course, there'll be a haul video on that, so if you're listening to this, you already know what's going to be in the box, but I think other people will probably just watch the haul, to be honest with you. I also want to, in other Lego news, I want to mention I'm doing a mock contest for March where I'm giving away the Lego roses if you would like to participate. And I should have mentioned this at the top of the show, honestly, because you could have been building this whole time. I'm doing a March mock contest. All I have to do is make a spring mock, whatever that means to you, and upload it to our subreddit, which is also linked down below. And at the end of the month, whoever has the most upvotes gets the win and gets the set. We'll review them on a live stream, probably on this channel now, at the very end of this month, and we'll let you guys know what we think about them. We'll try to be as kind as we can, but I'm like the honest dude. I keep it like very authentic, and I'm like, it really didn't work. Clark's like, I love that. So between us, you're probably like, I'm going to bring you down possibly, and Clark will just boost you right the heck back up. But some people, man, it's wild, the creations that they make and the talent that's out there. You guys should be freaking proud of yourselves. So yeah, there's some Lego for you. And there'll probably be more Lego in this podcast. I was thinking about this week too. I'm kind of in a chapter of my life right now where Lego isn't a huge priority. But you figure once Clark goes to school, I'm going to be bored, right? I'm going to be like, what am I going to do all day? I got all my stuff organized. Let's build some Lego. And I think Lego is going to creep back in. So missing pieces will have a place here. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is you guys really love the name Missing Pieces. I saw a lot of comments that were like, Greg, I don't care if you move it. I don't care like what you do with it. Are we even... Okay, I'm making sure this is still recording. I'm using the PC now. And I'm like, I would be devastated if this didn't record. Looks like it is. I would probably go cry. I wouldn't have it in me to record this again. It would just be like the lost episode. But you guys love the name Missing Pieces. You don't care where it is. You just want me to keep the name and keep the content the same. So luckily for, I think pretty much everyone, it's just gonna be. Let's just be. So on that, let's move into some listener feedback. We've got some brickitect to do here. This is from Chad, who needs some advice from me, and I'm happy to give it. I can't tell you that my advice is always correct, but I do enjoy giving advice. I don't have experience in everything, but I can tell you my thoughts on it if you respect that and want to hear it. If you need some advice next week, let me know. Chad says, I have a question for you, Greg, related to the problem of burnout. I've been really dealing with that. I have asthma and I'm a sophomore. My school's COVID policies were terrible, so me and my parents decided it's best to do online learning this year. I'm not a person who needs constant social interaction and can thrive with only a little, but none is the cutoff. Since I've switched to online, I've had almost no social interaction, and it's getting to me. I've lost friends, just as I would have if I had left school. Only then I would have been meeting others. I can feel my self-worth and confidence lowering, especially since winter. It's been a lot harder to socialize. I'm wondering if you have any advice for me. I don't think going to school right now is an option, but I need to find other ways of socializing in person but distanced. Okay, so I get what you're saying here. For what I understand, like going back to, you're saying school isn't an option. Obviously, that'd be the easiest thing. Like maybe talk to your parents and see if you could go back. I don't know if that's the best idea for your situation. My best advice for you, I don't know if even meeting people in real life is the best thing, but my advice for you kind of goes back to my love of our Discord that we have, and that is maybe get all your friends together that you still have, or maybe ones that you've kind of lost contact with, and try to like link up with them online. Make a Discord server where it's you and your buddies, and be in there and chat all the time. You don't always have to see someone face to face to feel connected. I have way more friends online than I have in real life, and I kind of like that because I'm an introvert. I do like you, I think. I like being alone, but I do thrive with like interacting with other people, and I find that the Discord, and I think I can speak for some of the other people in there as well, that it really does fulfill that need. So with you, being that you maybe don't have an online community or anything like that, maybe talk to your friends, be like, hey, let's all get on Discord and let's hang out. You can do a voice chat on there. I don't know if you play video games at all, but that's also a great thing to do if you want to get on and play, dare I say, some Fortnite with your friends or whatever. How old did you say you were? I don't know how old you are. Maybe you're beyond that. But get on, try to find some things you can do with your actual friends. Try to find a time each week that you guys can all link up and do something and keep that alive. Because I'm thinking like when you go back to school next year, and this is the other hopeful thing for you. When you go back to school next year, I know there's only a few months left here, but then you got to survive summer. When you go back next year, I think things are going to be a lot better. Maybe hopefully back to normal. Maybe that's just me being optimistic. And this will all be behind you. Everything's going to be okay. Just know that right now it's the hardest part, and you're going to get through this. But I think making an online friendship group would be the easiest way to kind of weather the storm, literally, the winter storms here. So that's my advice. If anyone else has any advice for Chad here, throw it out there if you can think of anything else. Being that you don't necessarily want to be in person with people in the event that you're going to get sick, I think that's your number one option. Next here, I'm going to share this win of the week. This is pretty much going to wrap up the episode. I know this one's a little bit shorter. We're going to get back into our regularly scheduled programming next week, but I saw this win of the week, and it really spoke to me, and I really love this, and I think this would be a great way to send you guys out on a positive note here. This is from Steve Bearden, who says, "Hey, Greg, no matter where you are, what then you name your podcast, my wife and I will be there. The main reason for this comment is to share big wins for me this past week or two. A little background. This is so well written. I couldn't resist. I have been on medical leave for my day job for over 2 years. I've also had to put off my filmmaking part-time venture. The current look medically isn't the worst, but I will be unable to return to any day jobs I have on my resume, leading me to have to review my options." Isn't that what we're all doing these days? We're reviewing our options. We're seeing like, what does our future look like? Where am I at now? Where am I going? We're all pondering that. And I feel a connection with you over this. He says, "The only jobs in this area are similar to what I'm doing I'm unable to do. So now back to the present and my wins. I finally pushed myself to start making videos and uploading to my channel. You already have me sold." I'm like, all right, you're making YouTube videos? I want people to make YouTube channels more than they want to make in most cases. Bricked a lot, if you're listening. Let me get back in here. He says, "I finally pushed myself to start uploading to my channel. That wasn't my biggest win. Oh no. I launched more than one channel, my actor channel, my film company channel, and a Lego channel, and soon my podcast channel, which would be my audio video diary type of channel. That still isn't my biggest win. Oh no. One of my cousin-in-laws watched and commented on one of my Lego videos, but that still wasn't my biggest win. Oh no. It was sharing information I was sharing information about Lego deal. I made a video on that led to my wife into wanting me to go to the store and get a couple of the sets for her collection. And so we spent the entire day yesterday on a road trip to get them and go out of our way to Marionberry Mochas to get Marionberry Mochas from a coffee stand about 30 minutes further north that we don't go too often. I'm sorry I'm butchering this, but I love where this is going. So he's expanding his whole spectrum of being online. He's doing things, making moves. He's going out with his wife. They're getting some Lego deals. I love this. But that still wasn't his biggest win. The truly biggest win for me was that the first person to subscribe to all my channels was my teenage son. Something that will remain dear to me in my heart, no matter how successful my channels are or aren't. And I love that. I love that he did all these things like he's looking at where he's at. And I encourage you to do this because that's what I've been doing, right? Maybe we can do this together. Think about where you're at right now. Maybe it's a place you're happy with. Maybe it's a place you're not. I think most of us are always trying to strive for something better or bigger. Think about where you want to go. Think about what it's going to take to get there. And think about what little step you can take to make progress today or this week, regardless of what it is. Steve got a little out of hand here. He made like 4 YouTube channels, which I don't necessarily recommend doing. I think if you're just starting out, you should try to start with one and maybe try to fill each day with like a different series, or until you get up to 7 things. Or if there's this one thing, like for me in live streaming, there's this one thing that you just become so obsessed with and passionate about that if you do that thing on your current channel, it's going to overwhelm the audience there. That's why brickitect Live exists, at least for the time that it did, the last 3 years or so. If that overwhelms your channel, I would make another channel for that. But I would try to put everything into one thing, make a couple different series, have some shows on there, which is going to be kind of the direction brickitect takes in the future. I'm not speaking in the third person, I'm talking about the channel. But back to getting to where you want to go, I think anybody can achieve their goals. It may take a long time. You could have something that's way off in the distance, but if you make little progress, just the tiniest little bit, through time and pressure every single week, I try to tell you guys this, you will see yourself slowly start getting there. Maybe your goal is to someday have 1 million subscribers on a YouTube channel. What can you do this week to get there? 1, maybe start the channel. 2, maybe put a video up on it, right? And you get 1 video up, you get 1 person to view it. Maybe it's your son and he subscribed to you. You just got 1 view and 1 subscriber. That's a start. You can start making progress. It's going to take a long time, and maybe your goals need to be attainable. But regardless of what you're thinking about doing, you got to have something out there that you're working towards. Don't be one of those people that just exists in life. Don't be just meandering through things and doing your job or your school or whatever and existing. You're capable of so much more than that. At least I think so. I don't even know you when I think so. So think about something that you want to do this week and try to make a step towards it. I know we all have that stuff, and I'm not excluded from that whatsoever. And I think that the whole Greg's journey thing, I think, is going to be sharing a lot of that. So I'll be doing, like I said, a little bit of that here. Doing a lot of that on Patreon because I know the people there are going to love that, and it's going to encourage them as well. And I just feel very comfortable in my safe space there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, whatever it turned into. I hope you're happy with the decisions I made. Again, I'm sorry for moving you back and forth and getting you worried that this is happening and then it doesn't happen. And God knows, like next week I come back and be like, you know what? Last week's Greg was completely wrong. We gotta start all fresh, but I don't think that's the case. I think I can just keep continuing on with what I love to do, and I think if I pursue my passions and I show the energy and the interest that I have in something, that comes through in video. And sharing yourself authentically is the best thing you can do. And the people that find you, if they enjoy that and if they want to follow you or subscribe, that's perfectly fine. That's the audience that you want to have. The people that are just there for the hauls and the news videos or whatever that is, sure, they can come along for the ride or for the journey. But that's not who I'm truly speaking to, and that's why I started this episode off in the way that I did. This is for the people that have been with me and want to continue being with me for the long haul, and I appreciate you guys for that. So I hope you have a glorious week. Make this the best week of your life, and as always, we'll find you in the next Missing Pieces episode on this channel.